tune in every weeknight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/C/Sirius Mindz RNTV. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz, seriously. Peace.
Open your eyes to the endless possibilities of creating from your centerpiece. Experience your visions brought into reality and watch your dreams unfold naturally. If pictures are worth 1,000 words, let's create a story that's a masterpiece. Casso Visions. Capture your visions.
Peace, 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 peace. Greetings, Professor Griff, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, what's good, what's poppin', what it do. Any of those and all of those greetings that you go by, whatever school of thought that you are from. Hopefully we're all making the transition into a higher level of consciousness. All right, we want to say greetings to everyone. If you're not familiar with those greetings, whatever greeting that you're familiar with, peace, what's good. All right, greeting always tend to kind of set the tone, but I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Sirius Mindz RNTV. Tonight's subject is a subject brought to you by our sisters in the Sista Cypha. Alright, we're going to be dealing with this black genocide. Alright, this Fear of a Black Planet, part 2. We did part 1 yesterday, but tonight we're going to be talking about black genocide. And this is brought to us by our sisters in the Sista Cypha. Alright, Quan, SN, Alex, Little. Alright, this platform is definitely supported by the people. And of course, if you would like to become one of those beautiful people, you can email me at Shawnee White. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, sis. Alright. If you would like to become one of those beautiful people, you can email us at siriusmindzinfo@gmail.com. Alright, so we can add you to the list of those beautiful people. Alright. If you're noticing the hang tag, because I notice it, I'm looking at myself right now and I'm like, alright, cool. But anyway, at this time we want to thank everyone that's making this platform run as smooth as it does. Alright, my man Shane Thug Life Shakur. I don't even know how he got that name, but maybe it's the mini Tupac t-shirts that he wears. I don't even know about that. But anyway, waiting to hear Black from 16, and of course we got Quan S on deck, Alex Little, alright, and where's Cabbage Patch at, man? Carrie A. Alright, but anyway, we're here up on the block making it happen, alright. I said Cabbage Patch, it's Cat Boogie, I'm sorry. If you would like to place ads on the channel, alright, or this particular platform, just send me an email at siriusmindzinfo@gmail.com. You can place your ad right here, right now. Alright, please consider supporting independent media by making a donation to Sirius Mindz RNTV via the Cash App. That's $Professor Griff. Or you can go to www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp. Or just simply go to www.professorgriff.me and make it happen. Or stay right here on the super chat. Alright, right here on YouTube. Click the $ and say, yo, Griff, giving you like some food stamps. So here you go, bro. Go make it happen. And I would politely say thank you very much. Really appreciate that, because on this platform, we're about the business of raising our vibrational pitch of the people's thinking into the mind of the creator and, of course, the co-creator. And I'm looking really dark. I don't know, man. You got to readjust that light, bro. It's like not happening at all. Just a little. Alright, cool. Something like that. We need everyone on IG and Facebook to meet us on www.youtube.com/C/Sirius Mindz RNTV every evening at 9 o'clock. Alright? If you need to contact me and text me some information, you can do that. I mean, subject, what you want us to talk about, whatever. Text me at email me at siriusmindzinfo@gmail.com or text me at 678-557-2919. Alright? Keep in mind that we teach people how to treat us, so we have to act accordingly. Alright? Yeah, you said Cat Boogie. Peace, Cat Boogie. Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you, and only accept that which serves your highest and your best good. Let's dialogue, let's reason, let's talk. All right, right here on Sirius Mindz tonight. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz. Seriously. All right, this program that we're about to present to you, and of course, is brought to you by the sisters and our Sista Cypha here on Sirius Mindz. I think it's a beautiful thing that we balance this thing out with the sisters coming aboard, making it happen. All right, something that myself and 16 set in motion, and we got to carry this thing through and see it through. I want to play a quick clip from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. All right, it's Fear of a Black Planet. It's R.I.P. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Fear of a Black Planet. All right, let's dive into this. Peace.
And so the white collective, from the time that Christopher Columbus came out of Spain in his little boats and started the white people circumnavigating the globe, they began to realize, wait a minute, all these other people on the planet are people of color. And the men, just like the fondling fathers. Did you hear the term? See, black people, we don't need to say founding fathers. We need to talk about the fondling fathers, the Thomas Jeffersons, the George Washingtons, and all of those slave holders who were raping and taking sexual advantage of black women. They found out that by sexually relating, their white color would disappear. And they began to understand, wait a minute, when they realized that they were just a tiny, tiny minority population on the planet. And see, we're still busy calling ourselves minorities. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They are the minority on the planet, but they know the value of saying repeatedly to other people that they are the minorities because it makes them feel weak and it makes them feel vulnerable. So we really need to start talking about the global white minority. The global white minority. The global white minority. See, and the global white minority realized that for them to genetically survive on planet Earth, they have to have control over all of the non-white people. And because black people have the greatest genetic potential to cause white genetic annihilation, the heaviest pressure has to be on us as a people, as a total people, and as black men in particular. And so therefore, we learned, many of us learned before we learned how to read or write. If you are black, get back. If you are brown, stick around. If you are yellow, you're mellow, and if you're white, you're all right. They were just color coding what they needed to do for white genetic survival. And that is continuing on the planet today. So I maintain that we need to update our understanding and understand the noose, like they're trying to tell us, is just a joke and that it doesn't mean anything. I would suggest that for every person who hasn't already read the book Without Sanctuary, it's a pictorial essay of all the lynchings and castrations of black men and burning of black men as white people stood around and cheered, and in some cases taking home body parts. We need to look at that and study that, and I say don't waste any energy hating white people. That's not taking us anywhere. It's like if we sat down at a chessboard to play chess at a tournament. You don't beat your opponent by hating your opponent. You have to take all of your energy and understand exactly the moves that the opponent is going to make and make certain that you know how to counter those moves. Now, this is not a mystery to black people. Black people are expert playing basketball, playing football, playing baseball. All of these are psyching your opponent. What moves is the opponent going to make? And you make counter moves that can checkmate the opponent and move on to victory. So we need to understand and master, instead of trying to ignore racism and pretend that it doesn't exist or that it went away some time ago. No, racism is alive and well. Racism is a total global system that, as Neely Fuller outlined in his textbook for victims of racism, textbook for victims of white supremacy, racism operates in economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Now, I'm adding to that health, because people are busy right now talking about healthcare disparities.
That was our now ancestor, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, on a clip suggested by Quan S. Fear of a Black Planet, as we dive into this subject of black genocide. And I ended it off on health simply because I wanted to add tonight, we're going to dedicate this show to Toni Morrison, who passed away. I got the news about, 30 minutes ago? So we're going to do a moment of silence, and then we're going to dive into the Zoom information that Quan S. and Alex Little put together. All right, so let's have a moment of silence. Everybody close your eyes, bow your head, take a deep breath, and let's remember our sister, Toni Morrison. All right. There's nothing else that we can do. Is keep the name in the spirit. Keep the name on our lips and the spirit of the individual in our hearts, and let's move them forward as we did with Nipsey Hussle and other people. All right. I wrote about, mentioned Toni Morrison in my book of Warriors Tapestry. I'm sure a lot of y'all missed that. I'm not sure what page it's on, but it's there. All right. Hold on for a second. I think I should. If I don't, not sure what page. But anyway, I turned right to it. Toni Morrison. All right. Born February 18th, 1931 in Lorraine, Ohio. Toni Morrison, a Nobel Prize and Pulitzer Prize winning novelist, editor, and professor. All right. Please pick up her work, find it tonight, listen to her interviews, and more than likely we're going to discuss this on Freestyle Fridays. Yeah. If the sisters in the Sista Cypha don't get to it on Thursday. All right. Anyway, that's my little spiel. We're going to dive into what Quan S. and Alex Little gave us. All right, you ready, man? All right. I'm going to see y'all in a minute. Peace.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Quan. Peace.
Alrighty. So, hello to everyone in the chat room. We'd like to welcome you to the Sista Cypha. And I have with me Alex Little. And for those who don't know me, I'm Quan S. And tonight we are going to be discussing Black Genocide, the Negro Dilemma. And so Alex and I are going to be pulling from two topics. One being the documentary, or should I say movie, from MAFA 21. And I'll be sharing this in the chat room with you guys so you can look it up. And when you get a chance to, you can actually view it on YouTube. And we'll also be discussing Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Fear of a Black Planet. And the reason why we're discussing this is primarily because of the mass shootings that happened within the last couple of days, also the one that happened in California. So I think the topic that we're going to discuss tonight is going to be right on time, because obviously there is a huge dilemma when it comes to white people and white supremacy. And so I think it's important that we'll discuss this topic tonight. And what I want to do before we get started is start off with Dr. Frances Cresswell. She is actually at an event, and it's titled Fear of a Black Planet. And I want you guys to kind of hear this out, and then we'll go ahead and start our discussion tonight. Okay, so we're going to start off there. And for those that don't know, that was Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And she was basically discussing the fear of white annihilation. And for those of you who don't know, part of what is going on right now in this country is a big fear from white men of being annihilated and being a minority. And so I pulled some research, and it was very interesting to find that the US is reporting that there is a drop in the number of people, or should I say white people, being born in the US for the last 32 years. It says that white fertility rate is dropping extremely low, and by the year 2050, they're going to be the minority in this country. So, Alex, I want to talk to you about this discussion. Give me your thoughts on what you've heard thus far.
Peace, Quan. Peace, Professor Griff, and peace, Sirius Mindz family. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing is an amazing woman, and from the fear of a black planet, pardon, I happened to pull up a quote. When everyone goes tonight and does homework or their own personal research in regards to watching Fear of a Black Planet, at the 52-minute mark, quoted by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she stated very clearly, Black people are beginning to understand the local, national, global system of racism, white supremacy, whether subconsciously, whether consciously or subconsciously determined. That determines all patterns of perception, logic, thought, speech, action, and emotional response. For the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation. I'm gonna say it one more time. We need to understand the local, national, global system of racism, white supremacy, whether consciously or subconsciously determined. This determines all patterns of perception, logic, thought, speech, action, and emotional response. For the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation. This is very powerful because when we talk about those 9 areas, the economics, the education, the entertainment, the labor, the law, the politics, the religion, the sex, and war. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing also added in this Fear of a Black Planet, health. Those are all areas of battle, of war. And she talks about this and goes in great lengths. So why is there a fear of a black planet? Where's the fear coming from? You know what I mean? That's something that we should really extract from this conversation too.
Mm-hmm. You see, what I found was that they're implementing right now in law and policy anti-abortion laws. And that's mainly because they're trying to prevent whites from becoming minorities. That's why they're pushing this issue with the anti-abortion laws. And it ties into the Malfa 21 movie. If you guys look at it and understand how they're basically planning Planned Parenthood clinics in predominantly minority neighborhoods. And so this documentary goes very deep in the sickness and the gall of what they would do to prevent this from happening. And just as Dr. Frances Cress Welsing describes in Fear of a Black Planet, you know, the report is basically saying that, you know, these people are basically, what they're doing is they're trying their hardest, whether it's through mass shootings, whether it's through abortion laws, whether it's through, you know, suppression of, you know, our rights or whatever is going on with them in their sick minds. They're trying everything to fight this out. And they've been doing it for generations now. And for me, it's so disheartening when I heard about what happened in Dayton, Ohio, because, you know, this person basically took 6 African Americans away from this planet because his fear that he superimposed on everyone else. And sadly, there's nothing that they can do about it. There's nothing that they can prevent this from happening. If you ask me, it's just the law of karma, to be honest with you. You know, it's nothing that they can do about that. But it's like their biggest fear is having Black and brown people run this world. You know, that's why you have Trump spilling out all the negativity that he's doing right now, because he's specifically speaking to that fear and that base. You know, and now it's like I heard him today on TV, and it's like he never admits to the things that he did wrong. And I found that very troublesome. And then a little bit I didn't, because that's just who he is to the core. He's a racist. He's not going to admit being wrong. But back to the subject of what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was discussing. What is your thoughts about, you know, when she discussed well, I don't want to say it, but the penis effect and how white men see themselves compared to a black man?
Yeah, I mean, everything you just said was so powerful, especially with Trump with his apathetic, irrational, it's all cold. I got so many feelings right now, but everything you just said was what needed to be said. And we have to have these dialogues and these conversations and make them transparent, honest, and plain to get things changing. In regards to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing speaking about penis, you know, the whole thing, everything from drinking coffee to drinking tea, the long tails and the tuxedo coat, to subliminal messages with pool balls and bowling balls and basketballs and just different things. I believe it's the mindset. And with the fear, anything that's fear-based isn't operating in love. So the fear of becoming extinct, the fear of becoming annihilated, it sounds more like a loss of power. And that mindset for those who operate systemically with the mindset of fear, me versus you, domination, control, apathy, gain, power, there's no love, there's no peace, there's no joy. It's not synergistic. It's either me or you. So with that in itself, that's a problem. And one of the things Dr. Frances Cress Welsing talked about too is self-dignity and self-respect. And we must have self-dignity and self-respect as a point of origin for ourselves to view ourselves differently. And I actually wrote down those definitions so we can talk about them. Dignity. What is dignity? Dignity is the state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. So dignity is to be worthy. What's worthy? Having or showing the qualities or abilities that merit recognition in a specified way. Aren't we all worthy of human rights?
Yes.
What is respect? Well, respect is a feeling of deep admiration, esteem, reverence, homage, approval, honor, appreciation. So when we are dignified and we have and show a composed and serious manner that's worthy of respect, maybe things will change within ourselves, first and foremost. Now, in regards to the system, that's a whole other issue. And Dr. Frances shared and stated that we aren't to anticipate for them to say, hey, as far as the chess move, tell me your next move so I can get the upper hand. No, she said anticipate what's going to happen, but make a move to counter that. Be aware, be prepared. And that's what we got to do. And start with self-respect, start with self-dignity, and make those changes.
Absolutely. You made a fabulous point about dignity and just having pride in self. Because without that, you can't, you don't have a moral compass if you don't have dignity in yourself. And I think for us as a people, what we need to do is take back pride. We see so many different images of ourselves of being less than honorable. You know, you see women on the gram and all these different other forums that are disrespecting themselves, men dressing up as women and heels and makeup, and they're twerking. And it's like we've come so far, but we have not taken one iota forward. And that's what's so sad about this whole situation, is because we are the first people. We as Black women are the mothers of everyone on this planet. And one thing I did enjoy about how she elaborated of how when we became the first persons on this planet, we were crystal black. And as we moved further and further away from the equator, it became brown and then red and then, yellow and then white. And then she just elaborated on that. And to me, that's one thing that white supremacy will never admit. They will never admit that we were the first people on this planet. And I think that's the core of their hate, of their, of their revenge against us, because they know that at any point, they can be annihilated on this planet just by the simple fact of birth rates. They see this and they've noticed this way back. Like she said, when Columbus started traveling the world, they noticed that when they started having sex with these women, these children were still, they weren't coming out white, they were coming out brown, and we understood that at that time. And to see, you have to understand, like she said, we can't hate with hate. We have to be able to counterpart a lot of our actions like it's a chess move. You have to beat them at their own game. You have to understand how the sick, tormented way of thinking that they do. I want to continue what she was saying, and I'm just going to play probably about 2 or 3 minutes of this, and then we're going to jump back into the discussion.
Okay.
Okay, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on what I know you touched on it before, but what's your thoughts on her tying these different levels of racism across the board, from health to politics?
I think it's scary. I think it's the actual reflection and reality of our hearts and what we're manifesting from our thoughts. I think anytime I look, or you look, or we look, or anyone looks at another human being as a threat, there's a problem. If you really think about racism at its core, because you mentioned the word core earlier, and that's so important, what is racism? I mean, if we teach a child, if you have a black crayon and a white crayon, what makes one worse? What makes one better? It's the mindset. It's evil. It's wrong. It's unethical. It's immoral. It's disgusting. Just because someone has a darker pigment does not mean their life is unworthy, unvaluable. You know what I'm saying? It's just the whole mindset. I'm just thinking about that Black Myopa, the movie too, when you talk about health, in regards to health. What are my thoughts on health? You know, in that movie, they listed off some pretty heavy statistics saying, you know, this is over like 10 years ago, how abortion and birth control are like number 3 systematically under heart disease and cancer. Abortion, that's like the 3rd largest government funded thing. This is real. Our communities are being targeted. It's inside the womb now. It's inside the womb. It's specifically being targeted in communities of color, Black communities. Make it plain. Black folks are being targeted. We are being targeted in the womb. Abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood, it's a scheme. It's not so you can plan your family. It's to put you on birth control to stop you from evolving. Okay? And that's systemic. The same chemicals that are in the abortion pills or birth control pills are similar and found to be that were used in the gassing during the concentration camp time with the Jewish Holocaust. And when the link is posted for that Black Myopa documentary, it's about 2 hours, everybody needs to see that. Everybody needs to watch that. They had callers calling, you know, Planned Parenthood, you know, hi, my name is such and such. Can I make a donation? Sure. What would you like to donate to? Yes. I would like to pick a Black family. You know, can I donate to a Black family? And basically the donor is saying, I want to ensure that the money that this is coming from my household goes to a Black mother so her baby doesn't touch earth. And then he says, yeah, affirmative action is taking place. I just want to ensure that my kids get a proper chance. You know, the world's scary now. And you can hear this dialogue. You can hear it take place. It's so, you know, it's just so desensitized and just so brash and just so out in the open. And you can literally call these places and pick a family. You could pick a Mexican family, a Black family, and basically tell them, yeah, I want my $451 to go to the Black mom, but her kid never reaches the earth. And this is something that's set up in our system here in America. So it's embedded in here. This is some of the culture. It's crazy. So that's health. And again, it goes back to self-respect and self-dignity. When we talk about who we are and how we see ourselves as a people, we might not necessarily automatically default to abortion. So that ties into systemic thinking too in regards to religion. There's different tactics. And Quan, you mentioned Alabama and you mentioned abortion laws. Yeah, it's funny how Planned Parenthood is specifically planted in our neighborhoods and our communities to stop procreation and keep the percentages of Black families down. Yet in Alabama, they're now preventing their women from aborting because the numbers are low. So we talk about that cause and effect and karma.
And for those who don't know, Mafia 21 is basically on the premises, it talks about the premises of eugenics. And for those who don't know what eugenics mean, it's basically the practice used against African Americans from the era of like slavery to, I guess you can say, to today's time, to today's date, basically. And what it was put in place was because they wanted to basically prevent African Americans from producing or having children. So basically this is Black genocide, if you really think about it. When you have a systematic, you know, when you have systematic tools put in place so that you can prevent another race from prospering or reproducing, it's like, if you just wrap your head around just that idea alone, these people are sick. And then if they are strictly operating off of fear. And you know what's troubling for me? You know, we are so, I just wish that we can, number one, stop being so docile. Number two, become aware spiritually and on a political level. Like we have to fight this thing from a metaphysical level, a spiritual level, and also political level. You know, we have to get out of this that want to know the next day.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check. All right, listen. We're gonna take a short break. Woo, that was some really deep information. But let me just correct one thing, and I think me and Quan talked about this. The pronunciation of the film that Quan is talking about is Ma'afa 21. All right, it's Ma'afa 21. Black genocide, and you have to watch Ma'afa 21. It's just one of those things that you just have to do. You understand what I'm saying? It's you have to, along with getting the book Without Sanctuary. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing suggested that we get this pictorial book of castrations and lynchings. All right. No, we have to do this in order to kind of have a reference point as to what's going on with some of these situations that Alex Little and Quan is talking about here on the Sista Cypha. All right, we're gonna finish this out, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna close out. So let's return back to Black genocide, fear of a black planet, with the sisters and the Sista Cypha. All right.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Quan. Peace.
Alrighty. So, hello to everyone in the chat room. We'd like to welcome you to the Sista Cypha. And I have with me Alex Little. And for those who don't know me, I'm Quan S. And tonight we are going to be discussing
Oh,
Hey, how are you?
hi, Quan. Peace.
Alrighty. So, hello to everyone in the chat room. We'd like to welcome you to the Sista Cypha. And I have with me Alex Little. And for those who don't know me, I'm Quan S. And tonight we are going to be discussing Black genocide, the Negro dilemma. And so Alex and I are going to be pulling from two topics. One being the documentary, or should I say movie from MAFA 21. And I'll be sharing this in the chat room with you guys so you can look it up. And when you get a chance to, you can actually view it on YouTube. And we'll also be So, hello to everyone in the chat room. We'd like to welcome you to the Sista Cypha. And I have with me Alex Little. And for those who don't know me, I'm Quan S. And tonight we are going to be discussing Black genocide, the Negro dilemma. And so Alex and I are going to be pulling from two topics. One being the documentary, or should I say movie from MAFA 21. And I'll be sharing this in the chat room with you guys so you can look it up. And when you get a chance to, you can actually view it on YouTube.
who feel innately within themselves and their own intuition, spiritually, you are experiencing something incongruent with your spirit and what you've been accustomed to through your heritage and culture. What I would suggest is the language. For me, I believe in a Christ consciousness. Yes, I do. However, as far as a character and how society has themed things with the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, this is the one way or you will die. That's no way to save nobody. And that's only one method and one theology in the many systems around the globe universally. Okay? So don't let anybody pressure you into thinking that you need to do something one way. Dr. Ray Hagins is a phenomenal example. Pentecostal, next in line to be a bishop, 25 years. And he used to be one of those people. I curse it. I curse you. You know, don't talk about his Jesus. But after doing his own research, respectfully, after doing his own research, he was able to transform his church into the African Village Center. I'm not sure if that's the name, but what I'm saying is, what I'm attempting to say is, we all have the opportunity to expand, evolve, develop, and we make that choice within. We do not have to continue to stay stagnant and complacent if something isn't working. Now, I'm not saying go ape and go ham and start acting crazy and get violent. What I'm saying is we can do the research and educate ourselves and start reading, start taking classes, get certified. There's opportunity across one's lifespan to evolve and grow. And we can do that by going within. So you don't have to go into a building and run around and hit tambourines and fall on the floor. There's a time and a place for that. And yes, I do believe there's power in speaking in tongues. I think that's an intimate thing between a person and their source and their creator. I think that there is power in spirituality. So I'm not taking away anyone's experiences because I have my own experiences. Even though I don't operate in that particular structure, I will not deny who God is to me and who I am to God. And that Christ concept mindset I will take with me. But I need to identify that for myself and to see why I believe what I believe and be responsible, as we all do.
I think, like, just tying back into this subject, it's just, I'm looking at what Dr. Francis Cress Welsing discussed, you know, this whole fear. And to me, I honed in on that word fear because, you know, again, just as we were discussing, fear is used to manipulate religion. And this is across all forms of religion. Fear is used to manipulate us in a lot of different ways. And right now, it's inspiring white supremacy to kill Black and brown people. And for us, we need to be real about what's happening in this country right now. Yes, this has always happened. It's always been, because if you go back to slavery time, Jim Crow era, or, you know, the civil rights movement, or whatever era you want to touch on, Black men and women have always been hung and killed, and the mass shootings happening. Just like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing discussed, you know, they would take body parts as souvenirs. Do you hear what I'm saying? As souvenirs. This is the sickness of their mindset. You know, we have to understand that our people right now is undergoing a Black genocide, and it's coming from, it's being talked about and encouraged by the person who's supposed to hold the highest office in this country, and that's the president. Or like Professor Griff says, 45 minus 1 or plus 1 or whatever he said. You know, basically it's like he doesn't even deserve the title. But, you know, basically right now it's like he has to basically, because he wants to win an election, he's basically said, oh yeah, we can't have hate, but he's not admitting to how he flamed that hate, how he encouraged that in his rallies. I like to call them Klan rallies, because basically that's what you are inciting. And if you look around, all you see was white people basically inciting racism and hate, you know? So it's just like, we have to understand as a people that right now it's time for us to become serious about where we are in this world and how we're going to move forward as a people. You know, I was looking at the information on Dr. Frances Cresswell when she was discussing the Breaking Rape book. And this book is actually, it's exposing basically how, you know, white cops are basically how they attack our Black men. You know, the darker they are, the bigger they are, it's like they attack them the most. And when you look at people like Michael Brown and, you know, you like all these people just from the last, I want to say maybe 8 years or so.
Yeah.
All the Black men that have died. Look at their profile, look at their body, look at their size, look at who they are and how they have killed them. You know, and how it's been justified in the media and also through our politicians. You know, we have to understand, people, we are at war. This is serious. If you're not aware or awake or what they call woke, even though I hate that word, you need to become aware, spiritually conscious.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Ray Higgins talks about we need to be more conscientious, just not conscious. So it's one thing to be aware and awake, but actually being, you know, fortified and just overall have an understanding of what time it is and operate within it. And it's challenging because when you're in this system, it's not like you can just escape from it. No, it's everywhere. And I think it's terrible. I mean, the way that whites in this country have done Blacks, decade after decade, it still continues right now for 46 minus 1, if you want to call him that. The way he is just so apathetic and desensitized and just gives speeches for closure and not for concern, not for developmental change globally, Pan-African, for all of us, you know, here in America. It's just disgusting. And it's a reflection of our vote here. It's just filthy. But you know, gunning down Black men in the street, gunning down children for carrying a bag of Skittles and a hoodie because their skin is Black. It's absurd. And it's not sick. Sick doesn't sound worthy of, sick is just like a little minute way to say it's a no-no. No, it's disgusting.
It's demented. You're right.
Yeah. So we're not talking about, you know, a simple, I don't even want to say the label mental illness, because mental illness is more understanding and justifiable. This is just flat out execution. And when we think about Eric Garner, how he was choked in the street in broad daylight for standing on the corner, that person that choked him never got brought to trial. He never served a day. He's back chilling, living his life. And now another mother has to go without her son due to his pigment. So in addition to Dr. Frances Cresswell saying some of the things she said with the 9 areas and Neely Fuller and Dr. Frances Cresswell with the 9 areas, in addition, she said health. Well, let's talk about the pigment. Let's talk about the pineal gland, and let's talk about the penis. So them 3 P's right there. Why be jealous? Why be jealous? Why be jealous? Comparison and doubt. Fear. That's what it comes down to. So, but the universe is speaking for itself. Earth is changing. The sun is coming, you know, it's getting hotter. Things are going to start changing. So, and then also, too, trying to change the weather and put up fake moons. And this planet is not owned by one person. This planet is for everybody here. We can't just sanction people and tell people they can't go to United Kingdom and tell people they can't come here and put a whole population on the side of the west side of the United States. And it's just crazy. But I believe this new generation and us waking up and coming out of this docile mind state and actually operating as one in a unity and having platforms like this where we can talk about it, we're becoming more conscientious and aware of what's going on, and we're uniting and we're leaving past behaviors behind that don't serve us. And we are speaking up. You know, I don't know how much longer marches and picketing and things that will happen. I mean, why not a boycott? Why not a grassroots boycott? I mean, that's what was going to happen in the 60s. They was going to lay down on the tarmac, but they stopped it. Do you know what happened to this economy?
You know what? Honestly, you know, I get very irritated when I see Black institutions like the NAACP or the National Urban League or even Pan-Africanism, if you will. Like, they have done nothing to help us. To me, they're just a bunch of talking points and ideologies, because if you really had power, then anytime something happened to any Black person, you would be the forefront person. You would be the person preventing this from happening, placing laws into place so that we would not have to have fear. All right, we would be compensated, or the person who kills us would be in jail. The media tries to blame, right now they're pushing this propaganda about, oh, well, maybe it was because of video games or drag queens or, whatever they're saying right now. They're throwing all kind of stuff and hoping that it stick, but it's just, no, let's call it what it is. Racism. That's what it is. Fear and racism.
It is. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing pointed that out with the biochemical warfare in regards to the frogs. Test tubing frogs. I mean, the frogs were given water that made them, it made them castrated basically. And it's the same thing here with our system, with our black men. Our black men are specifically being targeted. They're being feminized, they're being neutralized, and it is systemic. This just doesn't happen to one specific sect of the community coincidentally. Just like she spoke about HIV. Dr. Muhammad Wesley spoke about HIV. Come on now, why does it have a patent? Let's wake up. We do have to wake up. We have to wake up and take accountability and see things for what they are. And we got to snap out of the silly shit too, pardon me, with putting all our wealth on our feet, wearing all these name brand shoes and putting all this wealth in our hair, tying our hair down and then burning our hair and putting fake hair in and spending $500, $1,000 on sew-ins, $800 on Jordans. Man, you could have invested in stock. You could have started a business. You could have had a community effort. So we just got to tighten up. We got to tighten up all together, just like you said, Quan, within ourselves, in this system, and unify.
Well, I want to. Obviously, we've only tapped into, this whole idea of the Black genocide, right? Yeah. To me, that's our dilemma in this day and age, the current time that we're in. We are being systematically, we're being killed and we're being shut out. Financially, economically, politically, there's so many different eras, and I think we need to explore on this a little bit more, but we're going to be closing out on this topic. But do you have anything in closing that you want to share with the chat room?
No, I'm just appreciative for Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and the work that she set forth before us, and her too. Again, in the Fear of a Black Planet, I encourage everyone in the room to watch it. Everyone here listening, watch it. Take time. Let it play while you're washing the dishes. Let it play while you're folding some clothes, because she talks about herself, even being, a Christian for 40 years and how she had to develop as well. And I'm thankful for her work, because she gives an example of a solid woman who's dignified, who won't bend, who won't budge, and did it with poise and tact. And if we watch her, we can emulate the same behaviors to get the outcome that we desire. So wonderful topic, and I'm appreciative to have the platform. Shout out to Professor Griff. Shout out to his wife, Soleil. Thank you very much. Shout out to moderator Scorpio 16 and everyone in the chat room. We all still have time to develop and evolve. It's a process. Keep the vision, trust the process.
Exactly. And that's what I love about you, Alex. And, I love playing off each other. I love that, you can find other women who share like-mindedness, who can be astute, both spiritually and politically, but also helping to push the message forward and showing our brother, Professor Griff, support. We need that now more than ever. We need to support our brothers because they are our leaders. So we will definitely be touching more on these topics in the coming days. I hope that you guys will support the chat room tonight. You can hit up the super chat, or you can hit up Professor's Griff Cash App or PayPal account. Please subscribe, like, share, and donate. Enjoy. Peace, love.
Peace. All right. Quan S. and Alex Little on Black Genocide right here on Sirius Mindz. All right, with your host Professor Griff, and that's the Sista Cypha. Waiting for 16's return, and shout out to Cat Boogie from the BX. All right. Get my microphone. I'm sounding kind of faint, man. Can you turn my microphone up a little? All right, check one. All right, cool. All right, they did a wonderful job. That was a beautiful conversation, very deep conversation. And once again, this show is dedicated to Toni Morrison. All right, the great writer Toni Morrison, who transitioned into the ancestral realm. And remember, brothers and sisters, that the class, we have 3 people signed up for the class. We're looking for 21 more people by Monday. All right, hold on for a second. We have Mark Bailey. Shout out to Mark Bailey. We have Vicky Griffith. Shout out to Vicky. And we have Ebony Jackson. All right, those are the 3 brave ones that stepped up to the plate. I think my man Double B said he was stepping up to the plate and he was going to participate in the class on. Listen, it's $25 and you can go to www.paypal.me/professorgriff corp. All right, this is the next preparedness class. This is part 2 of the first preparedness class. This is preparedness. This is survival. All right, so we have to. These are the things that we have to support one another and putting these kind of classes together to inform one another. All right, I cannot shirk in my duty and my responsibility to bring the information that I have the energy to research and bring to the people. The class is $25 and you can go right on PayPal. All right, we need 21 more people. All right, so take this information, send it out to everyone. I can send out an email tomorrow to everyone. You should already have it. All right. To pass the email along. What I think I might do is just do a short clip tomorrow on YouTube and just take that link and get it out to everyone. All right, get the link out to everyone so that we can begin to get the information out to our people, because a lot of times people just don't know. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't know. They say, okay, well, I didn't see it, I didn't hear about it, or I didn't whatever, and I'm like, okay, I got you. So we got the flyer up. We're putting another flyer out tomorrow, a YouTube commercial out tomorrow. Whatever it is we got to do to get the information to the people. 21 more people by Monday to make this class happen. All right. All right. I don't have the official hat on. Oh, I got it right here. Figure is wearing it. Once again, the 4-sided 3D hat, $35. Don't worry about the shipping and handling. I got that on lock. All right. So you get this hat out to use the official hat to support the program, the platform here at Sirius Mindz. All right. All right. Quan and Alex did a beautiful job. Make sure you check out Dr. Francis Cress Welsing on YouTube. R.I.P. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Fear of a Black Planet is the lecture that they were referring black to. And, of course, Ma'afa 21. Ma'afa 21. That's Ma'afa 21. Check it out. Black Genocide. All right. All right. So let's make this happen. Let's push forward. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow night when we talk about the mic check 1 2 1 2. I think I got 2 people that signed up, man, for the mic check 1 2 1 2. We got an interesting conversation tomorrow about music business, music news, and what's going on in the music industry. All right. Okay. So, with that said, oh, I got a text message. Oh, thank you very much. Talk about my Make Africa Great Again, my MAGA hat, Make Africa Great Again. Thank you. We appreciate that. All right. All right. In the meantime, between time, we had some technical difficulties, but Shane, Thug Life Shakur got it together. We learned something new tonight. We can splice up Zoom clips and that kind of thing and put it in the way we need to put it in. So that's going to make the Sista Cypha a lot easier, especially for Thursday and moving beyond. All right. Cool. Yeah, this is a MAGA hat. Make Africa Great Again. All right. See my man Athletics. What's his name? Hold on. We're gonna put him on the spot. Yeah, Wadada. Yeah. Hold on. I want to get his information though. Hold on 1 second, because everybody keep asking me about the hat, man. Hold on. All right, I need y'all to call Jeff. Can y'all call Jeff? Quan, see if you can call Jeff at 504-296-6592. 504-296-6592. And ask him how much are the hats. All right, ask him, how can we get some here on Sirius Mindz? I mean, people want to buy them. I know Tom G wants one. Make Africa great again. All right, anyway, this is Professor Griff signing out for Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz. Check out Mic Check 1212 tomorrow, and I will see y'all tomorrow evening, inshallah. All right, peace, man. Revolution is not an event; it's a process. All right, we're gonna make sure we play what's the name tonight, man? Pranayama or something like that. Some music for y'all to kind of make y'all transition to. All right.
Greetings, this is Professor Griff. Tune in every weeknight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/C/Sirius Mindz RNTV. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz, seriously. Peace.
Us we, 8 plus 3, 2 then 7, Shrimati, Kali, Uwati, Mutmawu, Shri Chandi, Peace Queen, heaven in the green, Serpentine back to spiraling, Peace King back to rhyming, Love Ting back to finding who we be morphologically, unique cosmologically, sun, moon, astrologically, C6 topologically, alchemical, baseline seminal, subliminal, reach thy pinnacle, ascendable, fifth dimensional, unquenchable, indispensable. Breath, ride on the breath. All that energy rides on the breath. Death to the ego, fear to the left. Free from material, now what's left? Us, you, 4, 3, 2, 1.618 come through. I'm dropping these mathematical ratios for the few whose vision is from the 6 and speaking is from the blue. I offer spiritual food and wisdom that you can use. Prasadam, aladdam, along with music that's been imbued with consciousness as the mood. The goddess can't be subdued. Platonic solids and cubes and Tulsi that's strongly brewed like. Here now, be here now, Gotta let it breathe so we can flow. 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 Ride on the breath, ride on the breath. All that energy rides on the breath. Death to the ego, fear to the left. Free from material, now what's left? Alchemical, baseline seminal. Alchemical, baseline seminal. Ascendable, fifth dimensional. Dimensional, fifth dimensional. Us, you, 4, 3, 2. Us, you, 4, 3, 2. Us, you, 4, 3, 2, 1.618 come through like. Breathe so we can flow. Gotta let it breathe so we can flow. Gotta let it breathe so we can flow. Gotta let it breathe so we can flow. Ride on the breath, ride on the breath. All that energy rides on the breath. Death to the ego, fear to the left. Free from material, now what's left?